Okay folks, that was some clips from the Almighty playing the Glasgow Barrowlands on Sunday the 30th of November, which was of course St Andrew's Day. So this is my review video from this gig. So in it, I'll be going over the venue, the ticket price, the merchandise, the support band, what the crowd was like, the set list, and then some extended clips at the end of the video. So my name's Ricky, welcome to my channel, Relive the Music. Okay, so this show took place at the iconic Glasgow Barrowlands venue, and it was £48 for a ticket, which is really good because it's kept the same price for the 2023 and the 2024 show. So this was called Free and Easy because when they announced these gigs back in 2023, the idea was that we're going to play St Andrew's Day in 2023, 24 and 25. I didn't actually buy my ticket for this one until last year's had happened, just in case, they didn't stick to that promise and something happened with the band, but thankfully they did. So I turned up to the venue just about 7:20. I just actually drove to this one. It was just me attending it. I didn't have Carol or Andy or anyone. So when I got there, I was a bit surprised that there was a bit of a queue. So we queued for about 20 minutes to get in, and I just had this t-shirt on, so I was actually really cold waiting to get inside. And when I got in, it was just about sort of 10 to 8 or so. I went up to sort of check out the merch. Now, my pics from the merch aren't that great because it was so busy. There was a lot of people queuing for the merch. It was queued right through into the top of the stairs. So I can't quite sort of see all the t-shirts because quite a lot of people behind the stalls. But I think some of the t-shirts seem to be priced at £30 and £35, and there were about sort of 7 or 8 different ones. And I noticed that some of them were saying the Free and Easy on the back of them. I did pop down after the gig to try and get a better view, but to be honest, a lot of the t-shirts were away and they only had about 3 or 4 by then. So I didn't actually buy anything though, because I don't think anything's going to beat this crank all over print that I got way back in 1994 at the time from HMV for £15. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you bought one of the t-shirts. I could see quite a lot of people wearing them at the show. Okay, so Wolfsbane were the support act for the Almighty, and they came on stage just about 7:45, and they played until about 8:30, and I think they did 10 or 11 songs. So like I say, I missed the start of them. I think I came in during the second song, and yeah, there seemed to be a lot of people quite into this band. There were a lot of hands in there and a lot of people singing along, and Blaze Bailey, the singer, he was really enthusiastic and really courteous to the Glasgow crowd and praising them, saying such a great audience, and he did say a couple of things that I didn't know. So they toured with Almighty back in 1988, and they've been on the go since 84, so it's obviously been in the business a long time. That's 41 years ago. So just on the performance, I'm not that familiar with any of the Wolfsbane songs, to be honest. So for me, it was okay. There was a lot of people in the crowd really enjoying it, but it wasn't really my cup of tea. But it's sort of background music and going to experience it, it was okay. But I'll not be rushing out to go and see them on their own anytime soon. So just before the Almighty started their set, we did have a piper up on stage, and he was playing Flower of Scotland in the bagpipes, so that got a lot of the crowd into it and singing along with chants of Flower of Scotland. That was nice to see. And then the Almighty came on just about 9 o'clock, and they played through until about 20 to 11, and they played 20 songs in total, so it was one less than last year, but obviously it was a bit of a new set, so it was about 6 changes or so. I made it from the 2024 set list. So there's a few new additions in here, like they played Lifeblood, which they hadn't played since 1993, I think, since the Power Tripping album, and also they played Out of Season for the first time as well, so I think that was like a tour debut. And also, surprisingly for me, it was saying well, I read it in the Belfast show, it was saying that Love Religion, which they played as the fourth song, it hadn't been played since 1994. I was like sure that I'd heard that, but that was a surprise to me. So if that is true, then that was good to hear, and I did actually film that. So I recorded 6 songs in total from this gig. So as I say, I was away up the back by the fire exit, so I'd like nobody behind me. So I'm a wee bit further away, but I've got quite a good view, and I think the audio on it is pretty good as well. Okay, so the split of the set list was as follows. So they had 6 from Power Tripping, and they had 5 from Blood, Fire and Love, and they had 5 songs from Soul Destruction as well, with just 4 from Crank. So I thought the set list was good. It started strong with Taking Hold and then going straight into Jonestown Mind and Over the Edge, and then we got Love Religion for the first time, like I say, since 1994 apparently. Then Power, Full Force Loving Machine, we got Addiction, Welcome to Defiance, and then Lifeblood and Out of Season sort of were 9th and 10th on it, so that kind of like slowed it down a little bit before the powerful Range came in. That was 11th song. I really enjoyed that. And then Crank and Deceit, Devil's Toy, Bandaged Knees, Destroyed, Jesus Loves You but I Don't, and then they sort of finished with Wild and Wonderful before sort of coming back on for a couple of songs which were a little lost sometimes, and then they finished with the classic Free and Easy. Okay, so Ricky, Tantrum and Floyd on guitars were excellent in my opinion, and also Stumpy on the drums as well, put in a good performance, so I didn't really sort of notice any notes out of place. It sounded good to my ears anyway, and Ricky on vocals just sounded as good to me as what he did back in the 90s when I first saw them. So I think this was only my 11th time seeing the Almighty. Like, I was sure that I'd saw them more than that, to be honest, but I've maybe not recorded them all. But yeah, it was a good show, and the crowd really enjoyed it as well. So I did think it maybe wasn't quite as busy as 2024, like there was a little bit of breathing room on the floor, just not quite as manic as the year before, but it was still a busy crowd, but I don't think it was recorded as a sellout. But yeah, the crowd were good, they were singing along to a lot of the songs, and also we did have like a couple of people crowd surfing during some of the songs. I think it might have been Devil's Toy and Wild and Wonderful. Okay, so just before I leave you with some extended clips, let me know in the comments if you attended the Glasgow Barrowlands show, or if you saw them at one of the other venues that they played. And also let me know what you thought of the gig and what songs stood out for you. What did they play that you really liked, and what didn't they play that you wish that you'd heard? And also, can I ask, if you have enjoyed my review video, if you could give it a thumbs up, that would be great. And also, if you've got points to spend, to hit the hype button as well. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.
Excuses. See everybody, and this is my old building movement. This one is called Red.